Good morning, students. Our session of corporate finance. Now, as far as our last session was concerned, in that we already completed our second chapter, that is cash management. Now, today we are going to start a new chapter, that is receivable management. Now, as we already know that receivable management is one of the key important part of working capital management. When you are going to manage your inventories, when you are going to manage your cash, at the same time it is really very important to manage your receivables. If receivables are not going to manage in a proper manner, then definitely the company is not able to get its working capital with the proper management. So, in receivables, we are going to manage our debtors. We are going to manage those persons to whom we are selling our product on credit, because as far as the organization is concerned, it is not possible to sell your product on cash every time. It is compulsory to allow credits to our customers, and once when you are going to allow credit to your customer, at the same time a proper management is highly required. So, in this, receivables is nothing but we are talking about our debtors. When we are going to manage our debtors, that is the management of receivables. Now, in this particular chapter, we are going to study the introduction, meaning, cost of maintaining receivables, then optimum credit policy, then after difference between liberal and strict policies, then after credit policy variables, objectives of maintaining receivables, determining the size of receivables, and the last one is about forecasting of receivables. So this is our syllabus content of receivables management. Now let's have an introduction of our receivable management. ફર્સ્ટ એન્ડ ફોરમોસ્ટલી આપણે સિમ્પલ ટર્મમાં રિસીવેબલ્સ મેનેજમેન્ટને લર્ન કરીએ. ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશનને જ્યારે પોતાના ડેઇલી એક્સપેન્ડિચર્સને મેનેજ કરવા છે, જ્યારે રૂટીન એક્સપેન્ડિચર્સ, રૂટીન ઇન્કમને મેનેજ કરવી છે, એટ દેટ ટાઈમ ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશન ઇઝ હાઈલી કન્સર્ન અબાઉટ ધેર કેશ ઇનફ્લો. કેશ ઇનફ્લો તમે ડિફરન્ટ 3 વેઝથી રિસીવ કરો છો. ધ ફર્સ્ટ વન, that is your cash sales. The second one is your income in your investment, and the third one, that is the cash which you are receiving from your credit sales. Means when you are selling on credit and when your debtors are going to pay within a stipulated period of time. So that situation is known as your credit income. So cash sale is totally unpredictable. We are not in a position to manage or forecast our cash sales on 100% manner. But as far as the credit sale is concerned, we need to make a proper management of it. Because with the help of the credit sales, the organization is able to sell at the maximum level, and with the help of that maximum level, the organization is in position to enhance their total market shares. જ્યારે પણ કોઈ પ્રોડક્ટને ક્રેડિટ ઉપર સેલ કરવામાં આવે છે, એટ ધેટ ટાઈમ ડિફોલ્ટના ચાન્સીસ પણ મેક્સિમાઇઝ થઈ જાય છે. ઘણી બધી વખત એવી સિચ્યુએશન ક્રિએટ થાય છે કે કસ્ટમર છે, જે આપણા ડેટર્સ છે, એ આપણને 100% પેમેન્ટ આપે અને ન પણ આપે. દેન આફ્ટર ડિફોલ્ટના ચાન્સીસ મેક્સિમાઇઝ થઈ જાય છે. ઘણી બધી વખત ડીલેના ચાન્સીસ પણ ખૂબ જ વધી જાય છે. તો આ સિચ્યુએશનમાં તમારી કેશ ઇનફ્લો જો પ્રોપર મેનરમાં મેનેજ નહીં થાય, then definitely the organization will suffer a heavy loss, because if the cash income is not going to be managed, at the same time the organization is not able to manage their working capital in a proper manner. So organization tries to create such a credit policy. Now in this credit policy, the organization is going to think about how they are dealing with their customers, how they are selling their credit how they are selling their product on credit, how they are going to allow the terms, that is credit terms, to their customers. And if each and everything is in a proper manner, if the management is in a proper manner, then definitely the chances of default will be minimized. So now in this chapter, that is in the chapter of receivable management, we are going to study the point, or we are going to study that different aspects through which the organization is going to handle their receivables in a proper manner, so that the chances of default will be minimized. Now let's see the introduction part. Receivable, also termed as trade credit or debtors, are components of current assets. As we already know that in balance sheet, when we are putting, or when we are having a segregation between fixed asset and current asset, at that time we are putting our receivables, we are putting our debtors under the head of current assets. When a firm sells its product in credit, account receivables are created. It presents money owed to a business by its clients, that is by their customers. It is shown on its balance sheet as an asset. The term for keeping track of what customers buy on credit from a company is called receivables management. So here we are keeping a track that how we are going to allow the credit terms, to whom we are going to allow our credit policy, and within what period of time our credit policy is available to our customers. So this whole thing is known as the management of receivables. It is one of the series of accounts dealing with the billing of a customer for goods and services that the customers has ordered. Again, in services we have our receivables. It is not like that in only product we are having our receivables. Account receivable is the money receivable in some future date for the credit sale of goods and services at the present. The amount that the company is owed is recorded in its general ledger account entitled account receivable. These days, most business transactions are in credit. The unpaid balance in this account is reported as part of the current assets listed on the company's balance sheet. Most companies, when they face competition, use credit sales as an important tool for sale promotion, because with the help of credit sale the organization is able to increase their sales, they are able to increase their market shares, because the cash sale is not possible for the organization to give such a tough competition in the market. Good accounting requires that an estimate should be made for any amount in accounts receivable that is unlikely to be collected. So, as we already know that in this receivable management, the organization is putting a maximum focus on the amount which is receivable by our receivables, that is by our debtors, and here organization put emphasis on the duration in which the credit is going to be allowed. Basically, as far as our Indian market is concerned, the management of receivable is an important component of the current assets in our balance sheet, because totally receivable management covers 1/3 of the total current assets in our balance sheet. If the debtors are not going to manage in a proper manner, then definitely that mismanagement will affect the profitability of the organization as a large. So, it is highly required to manage our debtors with the preciseness. Now, in a normal term, when organization sells good for cash, the cash inflow received immediately, and therefore no receivables are created. But it is not possible for each and every organization, that is to sell their goods on cash only. And if the organization insists to their customer that they are supposed to purchase the goods on cash only, then definitely the sale will not be enhanced, and due to that the company is not able to raise their market share and their profitability is not going to be judged. So now let's see the meaning of receivable management. There are two definitions are there. Let's read one by one. The first one, that is, receivables are asset, accounts representing amount owed to the company as a result of the sales of goods or services in the ordinary course of business. Now, when you are selling your goods on credit, it is a routine course of action. Then after second one, the term receivable is defined as a debt owed to the firm by customers arising from sales of goods or services in the ordinary course of business. So that's about the meaning of receivable management.